Greetings, my friend. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Matt Schifferly here with another video to help you be fit and live free. Today we're talking about a very simple way to improve the quality, effectiveness, and safety of every, workout, but especially calisthenics exercise you ever do. What I'm specifically talking about is effectively setting your tension in the muscles right before you do an exercise. And this is very common in the world of like powerlifting especially. You wouldn't just walk up to a bar, grab it, and start lifting. No, you'd take a moment to make sure your glutes, your hamstrings, your back, everything that you need involved in the exercise is on and ready to roll. And this is a very important thing to do because we often use the muscle tension or the tension in our muscles in a reactive way. We just simply grab on and we're like, okay, chest, turn on while I do these push-ups. And that can work fine enough, but it's a little bit of a hit or miss approach when it comes to whether or not your muscles are actually doing what you want them to do, because it's passive. It's just assuming the muscles are going to do what they should be doing. And always remembering, of course, that it's not the exercise that makes your muscles work hard. Hey, if I do push-ups, there's nothing about this that makes my chest engage other than the fact that I'm putting resistance in the general area of my body to do the exercise. But I could certainly do this with elevated shoulders and elbows out and make it all about the shoulders. My chest is barely doing anything, even though it's supposed to be working my chest. So setting the tension prevents that passive engagement from happening. It also ensures that the engagement is much more consistent. So if you're ever doing an exercise and like sometimes I feel it where I want, like in my chest, and sometimes it's not there, this fixes all of that. And all you're doing is basically getting into roughly the position you want, and before you apply the resistance, you're just flexing the muscles. It doesn't have to be like super hard. It's just engaging the muscles. Like right now, I turn on my chest, triceps, and shoulders. So that way, when I apply the actual resistance, I'm all set, and now the push-up feels and engages the muscles in a very consistent way, exactly as I want, and I can do this 100 different sets. I'm going to get roughly the same kind of activation pattern for my chest, shoulders, and triceps every single time. Not to mention setting the tension also ensures that the force or the stress of the exercise is going into your muscles and not your joints. So this way I can make sure that not only are the muscles working as I like, but I'm not having the force haphazardly going into a shoulder, an elbow, a wrist, or just some wonky little angle or a slip in my technique that can compromise the safety of the exercise. So taking just half a second before applying resistance in an exercise can do wonders for you. Just here in pull-ups, just engaging my lats, my back, biceps, forearms, everything is set so that as soon as I start to do the exercise, it's strong and secure. But of course, sometimes that may not be entirely possible. Like if I have to jump onto a pull-up bar, I can't quite get my hands on it. So it still pays to kind of engage the back, the biceps, the shoulders to some degree. You don't need, again, a lot of tension, just some tension, and then you'll have a much more consistent application. Of course, if you have the resources to be able to adjust your situation, so a little bit of an elevation. Okay, now I can get my hands on the bar, feet are on the ground, engaging, tensing the muscles as I like, and then applying resistance makes the exercise a lot more approachable. And lastly, setting the tension kind of gives you an honest snapshot of how well you can actually engage the muscles. Because don't underestimate the body's ability to kind of compensate and work around weak muscles or muscles that you have trouble engaging. So again, it doesn't matter if pull-ups are supposed to be working your lats. If you have trouble engaging your lats, you're not gonna build bigger, stronger lats, or at least very well, if you have trouble engaging them. So if you're starting to set up for pull-ups and you're like, I just can't seem to get those lats and really engage, taking a few moments for some overcoming isometrics like this isometric lat pull down can be great practice for how well you can proactively engage the muscles. Just holding for a few seconds gives you a much better, that coveted quote, mind-muscle connection, and then your ability to proactively engage the muscle at will will improve, and therefore improve everything you do about those exercises. Ultimately, setting the tension before you begin a set is more of a habit than anything else. It may be something you have to really focus and concentrate or even write down in your workout journal for the next subsequent workouts. But once you kind of get into the habit of it, you'll start to just do it automatically and you won't even have to think about it half the time. But that's kind of the idea, is that muscle activation is something that requires focus and concentration to improve. But once it becomes more habitual, it'll always be better, and therefore your workouts and your sets and everything else you do with the muscle will also always be improved as well. All right, best of luck in your workouts this week. Thank you very much for watching. Be fit and live free.